This is Navarsha, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, Engineering College, Bikaner. We were in last lecture we studied about introduction of SQL and some of the commands of SQL. In today's lecture, we'll proceed further and we'll see what are the next commands of SQL, what are the functions used in SQL. So, okay. See, in last class we studied about what is data definition language, what is select command, what is where command. Means we saw the basic commands of SQL. So in today's lecture we will see some advanced commands of SQL. So first we will start with aggregate function. So aggregate functions are basically those functions which are used for a group of rows. Combinedly they used for a group of rows, means the condition is applied on the group, not the not it's not about one row, it is about the whole table, or you can say group of rows. So first we will see what is count. See, count function simply returns the number of rows that matches the specified condition. In where clause you will specify the condition for a condition for which you want the result. So what count will do, count will simply count how many times or how many for how many rows the condition is true. So it gives the count. So this is the syntax: select count column name from table name, where, and the condition. So let's suppose if you want the students, okay, wait a minute, the syntax is okay. See, select count student ID from student. So what this command will do, here we have not specified any condition. So what this will do, this will simply count the number of student for which the these aggregate functions basically they discard the null values. So if any student ID is absent or it's not there in the table, so it will be discarded. Like if we have 5 rows and we have given this count for student ID, so if any row doesn't have student ID or if it is blank, so let's suppose we have total 5 rows and only for 4 rows we have specified the student ID and for one row it is blank, so count will result 4. So it will discard the null values and it will count the values which are not null. So not null values will be counted. So it will give you if you are not specifying any condition, so it will simply see for how many it will simply count the number of rows for which the this attribute is true. True means not null. Okay, so next we will see average command. So average, this function returns the average value of a numeric column. So you can say select average column name from table name and then where condition. So here you can apply any condition and it will give you the average value. So the example is select average marks from student, means what it will do is it will count the marks of the student. So what it will do, if you are not specifying any condition, it will simply give you the average of all the marks. Or if you want to specify condition, so you can write like this: select average then marks, okay, from student where marks greater than 20. So like this you can specify the condition, or you can give means it's not compulsory that if you are specifying whichever marks you are, whichever attribute you are specifying in this field, and the condition should be applied on that only. It's not compulsory. You can apply condition on any attribute or any field value, and it will simply give you the average of marks for which that condition is true. So next is sum. So again select sum, then column name from table name, where condition. So select sum marks from students, so it will simply give you the sum of the marks of the students. Again you can specify the condition here. So how you will write, select some marks from student where marks greater than 20. So what it will do, it will take the values for which marks is greater than 20, take the rows for which the marks is greater than 20, and it will calculate the sum of the marks, and it will give you the result. Okay, next is minimum. So for minimum will give you the minimum value of any column. So this is the syntax, select minimum then column name from table name where condition. So select minimum marks as least marks. So what as command we have already seen, as command is used to rename any column or any value. So what it will do, it will calculate the minimum marks from the student. It will see the marks field, it will find out the minimum marks, and it will show you the result, and the result will be like this. The column name will be least marks, and then it will give you the result, whatever the minimum value it will give you. Okay, next is max. Max is same as minimum. What we are doing is we are simply calculating maximum marks. So select maximum marks as highest marks. So now the field value will be what? Highest marks, and it will give you the result. Okay, so next we have a group by command. Basically group by is used to group for a particular condition. If the condition is true, then it will group the values, means it will divide the values into divide the table into, or you can say the rows into groups. So this functionality is basically used to arrange a similar type of data into a group. For instance, if the column in a table consists of similar data or value in different rows, then we can say we can use group by function to group the data. So it will simply group the similar kind of data, it will divide, it will cluster the data. So the syntax is select column name as from table name where condition, and then group by. So this is the sequence you have to follow. You have to write first select, you have to write then from, then where, and then group by. So this is the sequence. Okay, so we will take an example. So let's suppose we are taking select count of student ID. So what you have to take, you have to take student ID and then F name from student group by F name. So what it will do, it will take the F name of the student, and based on that F name it will count the student ID. Means if if it is if F name are repeated 2 times, let's suppose, so what it will do, it will take that F name as single F name, and it will count that, means it will simply count how many times that F name is repeated in the table. So if let's suppose A, B, C, three F names are there. Okay, we will take an example. See, this is F name and this is student ID. Okay, so F name, let's suppose it is A, B, A, C, C, like this, and student ID is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So student ID, let's suppose we are taking it as a primary key. So this is not repeated, but this F name can be repeated. Okay, name of any student can be repeated. So what it will do, it will group by F name, means it will make the groups depends on the F name. So first group is of A F name, second group of B, and third group is of C. So what it will do, it will count the student IDs. So for A, how many student IDs are there? 1, 2. So it will write 2. For B, we have only 1. For C, we have again 1 and 2. So 2. So this will be the answer. It will group by based on the attribute you have specified in the group by command. Okay, so next we have having command. So this is basically used to place a condition where we need to, means if you want to give condition to if you have divided the table into groups and you want to specify condition for the groups, so for that we use having condition. So this clause is used to place conditions where we need to decide which group will be the part of the final result, or what you can say is, if you have counted the value for the group, you have applied any aggregate function to that particular group, and you will see if that if that condition is true for that particular group, then it will give you the result. Okay, also we cannot use the aggregate function like sum, count, etc. with where clause. Okay, whenever you are, see, what is the difference between where and having? Where is basically used for rows and having is used for groups. So in that case we have to use having condition. We cannot use for particular group, we cannot use where condition, we have to use having. So this is the syntax: select column name from table name, where condition, group by column name, and having condition. So let's take an example. Select, what we are taking, f name, first name, and sum of the marks from student group by f name, having sum of marks greater than 500. Okay, we will see by an example. See, we are taking this table, this is the f name, and then we have some marks, this. So f name are, again we are taking like a, b, c, and let's suppose 3 C's are there, and we will see the marks of a is let's suppose it is 400, it is 200, b has 300, and c has 100 and 100, sorry, 100 and again 100. Okay, so what this how the query will be performed? First of all, it will go to where condition. First of all, the where condition is first of all you will go to the table. So we will, first of all you will go for the from. So from you will start. So from is table name, so this is the table we have given, and then we will see where condition. So where you have given the where condition, so sorry, here we are using this having condition. So first of all we will see from student, so this table we will see, and then we will see group by f name. So what you will do is you will group by f name. So group by f name will give you like three f names are there, a, b and c. Again you will calculate, then what is the condition? You have taken the table, you have grouped the f names, and then you will apply the condition. So okay, we will see sum of marks is greater than 500. So for a, let's suppose we are taking it as, take it 300, so that at least one condition is true. So it will count the marks of the a. So what is that? It is 700. So 700 for a, then for b it is 300, and for c it is 300. It will simply count the sum. So it is 300. So what it will do? Having sum of marks greater than 500. So what is that? That is a. So for a we have marks, sum of marks greater than 500. So what will be the final result? A and 700. This will be the final output, because we have specified f name and sum of marks in the select command. So select command will simply print the values. So a and 700 will be the result. Okay. Next we will see order by. See, order by command is basically used to arrange the rows of any table based on some condition, based on the attribute field. Means in order by you will specify for which attribute you want to arrange, in ascending order or in descending order. You can specify the order. Let's suppose if I want to I have a student table with name, with the fields like name, age of student, id of student. So what I want is, I want to arrange the the table with name, means alphabetical, in alphabetical order I want to arrange. So you can specify that field or name field, and if you want to arrange using id, then you can also do that. So this keyword is used to sort the result set in ascending or descending order. The order by keyword shall sort the records in ascending order. By default it is using ascending order. You can change it to descending order also. So for this we have keyword AESC and DESC. DESC is for descending order and AESC is for ascending order. So by default this is taken. Okay, so what is the syntax? Select column 1 column name from table name, order by column 1 column 2, and then after at the end you will specify ESC or DESC. Sorry, ASC it is not AESC, it is ASC. Okay, so here you can see more than one columns are there. So what does it mean? See, one second. Wait a minute. Okay, so we have specified more than one columns here. So see why we have specified more than one column. So what it will do, if let's suppose if you have given this AESC this ASC means you want to arrange in ascending order. So so first of all this the order by command will sort using column 1, then using column 2, then column 3 likewise. So let's take an example. Select count student ID and city from student, group by city, order by count student ID. Okay, here we have specified only one column. See what does it, I will let you know what is the meaning of taking more than one columns. Let's suppose we have a table A, B, C and D. So we have like 1, 5, 3, 4, and for B okay, let's take it as 1 only, 1, 1, and it is 3 and 4, and for B we have, let's suppose 2, 1, 5, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and whatever it is 0, 1, 2, 3, let's suppose. Okay, so if I write select column select A, B, C, D from table name, order by A, B, I am writing for A and B. So what it will do, it will first arrange based upon A. So if we have for A we have two values like 1 and 1. So which row should come first and which should come next. So it will see based upon the next column. So for if A has two rows similar like 1, 1, so for we will see B. So for B 1 is there and 2 is there. So first this row will come and then this row will come. If you have specified the column second, if you have not specified the column, then it will take like this. So this is how more than one columns works based on ascending and descending order. Okay, so we will see next we will see the example for using order by and group by also. So select count student ID city from student, group by city, order by count student ID DESC. So what it will do, it will count, it will first go to the student table and it will group by using city. So let's suppose 3 cities are there. Okay, Jaipur, Ajmer, Bikaner, 3 cities are there. So what it will do, it will group the table via city names, and then it will count the student ID. So how many student IDs are there will be counted. So order by count students. So what it will do, okay, let's take an example. Okay, this is a table. So this is student ID and this is city. Okay, so let's take A city, B and C, and let's again take C. 3 C's are there. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. So we have 6 student IDs. So what this will do, first of all it will group by city. So first 3 cities are there, so how it will group A, B and C, and then it will count the student IDs. So how many student IDs for A we have 2, for B we have 1, and for C we have 3 student IDs. So again descending order, so this student ID will be arranged in descending order, and then it will print count student ID and city. So what the output will be, count student ID and then city. So in descending order, so 3 2 1 and the corresponding values C, A and B. So this will be the output of order by. Okay, so next we will see null value. So how the SQL, I have already told you, if null values are present, the aggregate function will simply discard the null value. So in SQL we use a null term to represent a missing value. A null value in a table is a value which appears to be blank. If there is no value, then we assume it is a null value. Or what you can do is you can write null keyword there. A field with a null value is a field with no value in SQL. Keep note that a null value is different than a zero or a value field that contains spaces. See, 3 things can be there: either you put a zero, or you put a space, or you write null value. So generally we follow this, because if you are writing null, then you are specifying the user that this value is a blank value, or user has not given this value. So it is a good practice to write null over there rather than putting space, so that no ambiguity will be there. To check the null value, we are not supposed to use the operator such as less than, greater than or equal. It's not supported in SQL. So we have a special keyword that is null and is not null. So we have two operators, or you can say two special keywords are there: is null and is not null. So what is null? Is null is basically true when any particular value is null, then is null will be true. So what is the syntax? Select column names from table name where column name is null. So let's suppose we are taking F name and L name from student where marks is null. So what it will do, it will select the F name and L name of the students whose marks are not specified, or we have put null value. So is null means it will be true whenever there is a null value, and again is not null, it will be true whenever there is no null value, means we have specified a particular value for that field. So select F name and L name from student where marks is not null. So it will give you the F name and L name of the students for whom we have specified some marks or some value. Okay, next we have update command. Update command is basically used to edit the values of the row. It is used to modify rows in a table. The update command can be used to update a single field, or you can update multiple fields simultaneously also. So this is the syntax: update table name, set column 1 is equal to value 1, column 2 is equal to value 2, where condition. So update the table name is student, and set F name is equal to Robert and L name is equal to Wills, where student ID is equal to 101. So what it will do, it will, whatever the value of F name and L name is there, it will simply change the value. It will first check the condition for student ID is equal to 101, and for that student ID it will change the first name and last name to be Robert and Wills. So the names will be updated in the table. Okay, so next we have delete command. So delete command is basically used in the SQL to delete a particular row, or to delete a row which is specified a condition. So SQL delete command is used to delete rows that are no longer required from the database. It deletes the whole row from the table. So what is the syntax? Delete from table name where condition. So if you want to delete the row for which of the name delete the student entry of name Robert, then how will you write? Delete from student where f name is equal to Robert. So there is a special case. If you want to delete entire table, then what you will do is you will not specify any column value, so you will simply write delete from student. So this will delete the whole row, this will delete all the rows, and it will simply leave the table blank. Field values will be there, storage will be there, but the values will be blank. Okay.